Hello, and welcome to this guided meditation practice through the LiveWell program. My perception is that you're listening to this and that we are here together because there has been a process of taking our healing into our own hands. That we have made that decision for ourselves and that we are on that path together. Mindfulness practice is a very empowering practice, a healing practice where we develop the ability to be with what is happening in the present moment. We develop the ability, the capacity, the tools, the tolerance to be with, to meet what is happening in the present moment. And this can be so important in all kinds of situations and as we approach more intense times of the year, like the holidays, which can be intense because of happiness and because of family dynamics or losses or anniversaries, many things that converge around the holidays. And so, again, this ability to meet what is happening for ourselves, to take this into our own loving hands. So, how do we do this? In the next 10 minutes or so, we'll move through several different realms or phases of mindfulness practice, and those will be named as pausing, relaxing the best we can, and opening the awareness. Pausing, relaxing, and opening. And instructions for each of those will be offered, along with how that might relate to holiday difficulties. So, right now, wherever you are in your world, whether you're seated or lying down or standing or walking around, you could be doing any of these things while you listen to me. I invite you to notice what it would be like to pause internally, even if you don't stop what you're doing externally. What's it like to pause internally? And you might not even know what I mean by that. So, usually the mind is churning, spinning, storming with plans and memories and beliefs, fantasies. And so the invitation to pause is to first simply noticing that that is happening. Oh, right now I'm planning. Oh, right now I'm worrying. Oh, right now I'm believing that something terrible is happening or about to happen. And so pausing internally is a moment of just taking even a tiny step back to know what the mind is doing. It's worrying, it's afraid, it's angry. Does that sound possible for you? Does that sound like something you want to do to know what is happening for yourself? Okay, so if it is, then some concrete ways that we can support that is with our five senses. So again, you don't have to be perfectly still. You don't have to look like you're meditating, but an internal pause can be a decision to offer most of your attention to the sounds around you. So I'll give some more rationale for that in a moment, but just for now, I'm going to be quiet for about 20 seconds and just invite you to simplify your awareness to only hearing sounds. Maybe you hear traffic or people moving around in your home. Maybe you hear the TV or the air conditioning. Doesn't matter. It's not that we're supposed to hear anything in particular. It's that we have withdrawn awareness from thinking or planning or worrying, and we've offered awareness something more simple and maybe possibly a little more down regulating for the nervous system. So again, let's practice this together. I'm gonna be quiet for 1 real minute. I'm actually going to set a timer so that you know what 1 minute of silence feels like and the difference that it can make. Okay. And the only thing that um, you're invited to do for this 1 minute is to hear sound happening around you. And if you notice the mind wander into thinking or planning or worrying, just notice that that has happened. And in this 1 minute of silence, bring your mind back to just listening. And here we go. that is 1 minute of shared silence. And maybe you noticed some sounds, and maybe you also noticed the mind pulling away from sound and wanting to rummage around in memories or worries or beliefs. And this is what minds do. There's nothing going wrong. It's very normal. But again, we are kind of beginning to take some loving responsibility for where our mind is going. Just like we might take loving responsibility for a little puppy who wants to run around in all of these places that might not be safe or might not be good for it. We take some responsibility and we say, come here, stay here with me. And we begin to handle the mind with these loving hands. The title of this module for the holidays is like handling the holidays. But in this practice, what we're beginning to do is to lovingly handle and hold ourselves. So that's one way to practice the pause, is just becoming aware of sounds around us, just to at least momentarily take some of the wind out of the worrying machine. Now, what about relax? This word, this this word can make some people very angry. So just please hold that word lightly. It's just a word. It's not meant to tell you how to be or how to feel. It's just an invitation again um, to stay here, to pause, and to just stay here with what's happening in a little bit softer way. And so in the relax, one way we can think about this is in relaxing internally and relaxing externally. And so internally, we might notice, is there any thought or belief happening right now that I could put down for a few seconds? Is there any emotion happening that I could acknowledge without pushing it away, without tightening? And then externally, we could think of that as the bodily life. And is there any accidental bracing or tension that's happening in the body that I might be able to soften in the shoulders or in the jaw, in the legs? Is there anything happening for you right now as you listen to me, as you're not sure you can do this, as you wish you could do this, as you don't like what I'm saying? Whatever the situation is there anything in the body that you notice that is accidentally braced or tensed? And do you have some access to it that you could invite it to soften? That you could turn to that tension and say, would you like to soften? Meeting that very gently, would you like to soften? Would you like to relax? And we can do this with beliefs and thoughts too. Would you like to soften? Would you like to take a break? Again, this is handling our experience in a very gentle way. So far we've paused and we've listened to some sounds around us. We've noticed if it's possible to relax at all with the internal experience. And by relax, just like softening with it, just like we might hold a little puppy, we don't like clamp down on it. We soften around it. We try to hold it gently. Our external experience, our bodies, is there anything that can be released or softened? And then the last part of this that I said that we would practice is opening the awareness. Opening the awareness. And so the intention of that is just to give plenty of space for the experience to move around in. Things can start to feel really small when there's difficulty, especially when we're maybe in our family home, or we're with brothers or sisters or family members that bring up really tight, deep-seated dynamics. Things can just feel really closed in. And so opening the awareness. And for this, we're just going to play around with the concept of space. So as you feel yourself here and as you're listening to me and whatever you're doing, you could even be washing dishes, can you feel that you have a left side of the body? There's a left side of the body, the arm, the leg, and can you just use your imagination to notice that there's space out to the left? There's space in the room, there's space beyond the wall, there's space beyond the house or apartment, there's space even beyond that. And for a few seconds, just allow yourself to become aware of the space extending out. You might be aware that there are animals or people that you don't even know. There are all kinds of weather patterns and temperatures out there to the left. And then just let your awareness come over to the right and become aware of the right side of your body. Even if you're walking or lying down, there is a right side of the body. And maybe you can feel some of that. And then you can imagine the space moving out from there. Space to the right, through the wall, through the next wall, out into the city, out into the country, out beyond the trees, the ocean, whatever you know is out there to the right. And then we'll just let that awareness kind of fan around to the front and around to the back of the body. And just for the last like 15 or 20 seconds, I invite you to just feel yourself here surrounded by loving space. So it's not empty space. It's an alive, aware space, an awake space. And as we move into that 15 or 20 seconds, you might even intone or repeat the phrase, fully held in this space, fully, gently held in this space. Sounds coming and going, thoughts coming and going, bodily tension and contraction and relaxation coming and going, and all of it fully held by your own capable, loving awareness. Fully held, gently handled the best we can as we move through moment by moment this holiday season. And our best wishes, our warmest wishes for this time from me, from Lifeline Solutions. Take good care.